What's going on, everybody? It's Jason over at Adventure Ready. Picked up a new toy, man. Like the title says, Adventure Ready, man. We're always ready for some sort of adventure, whether it be camping, motorcycle riding, ATVs, now side-by-sides, hiking, exploring. That's what we're into. So anyway, I thought I'd throw a review out here on this. This is the 2021 Kawasaki KRX 1000. So super pumped on this so far. We just picked this up, only been out one time. Got it from the guys down at Fun Bike Center. Gave us a little bit of a deal, which is hard to find in this current trend of just everything being overpriced and out of sight. Also, these guys had inventory like there's nobody's business. So this is June of 2021, guys. Was just picked this up 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago or so, and just blown away with the inventory they had and the choices down there. So anyway, I have some experience on the Razors, on the Polaris Razors, Polaris Rangers. I don't have experience on other UTVs besides the Polaris lineup because I worked for a company that was owned by Polaris at the end of my 18 to 20 years in the motorcycle industry before leaving and going to the RV industry. So I don't have any experience with this model. I've had a lot of feedback on the KRX and on Rhinos and Rangers and all that kind of stuff. So I guess I'll take that back. I have experience on Rhinos, Polaris Rangers, and Polaris Razors. So the reason I went with the KRX, we're looking at getting two-seaters. This is two-seater number 1, so we'll wait a couple months and let the bank account hemorrhaging stop, and then we'll go and get a KRX 1000 number 2. So my boys will both have something badass to ride. Is that necessary? Of course not. Could I have bought a 4-seat Polaris like everyone else? Sure, nothing wrong with that. I just like the build in this thing. Like I said, I have a ton of experience with Razors and Polaris products, so the Kawasaki is a far cry from what I'm used to. It's just when I was comparing them apples to apples on the showroom floor, just how robust everything was on here. Just not being a heavy UTV guy, just being a normal dude that wants to get the best bang for my buck. Like I said, how robust the build is on this thing. I mean, the shocks, the A arms, radius arms, I mean, everything on this thing just looks beefy. So also the cockpit. I'm about 205, 6 foot tall, 45-year-old dude, just a normal guy. I would consider average size these days. I feel really tight in about everything on the market. I love the Talon build. I love the idea of the Honda having a different drivetrain in most of these. However, when I sat in one, I felt like I was touching every single orifice on that vehicle. And I mean, maybe that's not a big thing for some people. We've all probably grown up riding like really crummy little vehicles, or I've run mopeds around, or golf carts, or Rhinos, or whatever else. So these were all a far cry from that. But I felt between my size, and I have 2 young teenage sons here, getting older by the minute, obviously, but they're pretty big kids. I mean, my 16-year-old's about my size, my 14-year-old's about my height, and he's a little stringy, but I mean, we're all big dudes. And this thing gave me a huge, comfortable cockpit in there. So I'll kind of come in across here. You haven't sat in one of these things yet. It's just wider side to side. The controls felt very comfortable. You can see there's a lot of room behind these seats, and those are fully all the way back. Not that you need to extend your legs like completely, wide open, but I mean, I do feel like, I have the rough room to extend my legs, and I'm all legs for a 6 foot tall guy. So it was neat to be able to have that space. Once again, going back to the build quality, the build is amazing on this thing. It just looks like it's really just built to take anything. I mean, it looks like, how people were basically modifying their side-by-sides, 5 years ago to try and get to this level. This comes like that right from the showroom floor. So, and I mean, you can get that in other models too. Don't get me wrong, this isn't the only game in town, and this may not be the best game in town for some, and some others it may be so. For me, I knew it wasn't the fastest UTV on the market. I'm not worried about that. We do a lot of Jeep type stuff. I'm not bonds in the the sand dunes and hucking this thing 40 feet in the air. I got a dirt bike for that. Some people might want to do on that. That's fine. Maybe this isn't the best for like a racing build. We're not racing either. We're literally doing family-oriented trail riding. And one of the things I wanted to do that maybe some other people can relate to, I rode motocross my whole life. Took a little bit of time off recently with a little life change, but now I'm back into riding. Picked up a 450 dirt bike. And I want to be able to rip across the desert, rip across the mountains, do Jeep trails, do fire roads, do single track or maybe double track because we got this now, and let my kids basically chase me, and be able to go at, somewhat breakneck speeds without breaking their necks. So the idea is that they're in the cage, dad's still hauling butt, still has a couple more years in the tank of riding a dirt bike, and my kids with, good dirt bike experience, but not the same I have. They can't keep up with me on a dirt bike, can't keep me on their quads, can jump in this thing with safety in mind and just rip across the desert and have a fun time and go everywhere dad goes. So some people might relate to that, some people might not, but that's part of the why I bought one of these side-by-sides, is to give the kids a chance to have something safe they could chase me around in. So anyway, back to the build. Bead locks, true bead locks. I believe these are 31-inch tires. Yeah, 31 10 by 15-inch rim. Like I said, true bead locks. It's a Carnivore from Maxxis. I've run a ton of Maxxis tires in the past. Loved them. I can't say these are my favorite tires thus far. We've only been out one time in this. I don't know if these are more of a rock climbing type tire. I'm not familiar with this scene at all. I've done Jeeps, I've done lifted trucks and off-road trucks, and I'm not familiar with what they're putting on these or ATVs. It's out of my wheelhouse. Dirt bikes are one my thing, or Jeeps. We punctured a tire almost immediately within less than an hour of riding. So we got a big old knotter right there. We don't have a spare yet, so we just keep those little twisties around. I believe this tire would be more rock climbing or mud or something, a mudder tire. Like I said, and correct me for all your knowledge and wisdom, but I don't think it's designed for the California harsh desert and those nasty roots these plants have out there. So anyhow, piggyback shocks, adjustable positioners up inside there. I don't even know how many positions to adjust. We haven't even messed with that. A metal firewall, which is a big thing for people, I guess, that were looking for that. We did get the top on here, just a standard $300 or so Kawasaki top. That's one thing to also get inspired us on this particular purchase or other brands. Even with some of the deals I still get in the industry from connections from back, just working so long there, I couldn't believe how inexpensive the Kawasaki proprietary after sales products were. I mean, they just had some amazing, the bumpers, the tops, the tire carrier, the tire net, other protection for your A-arms and whatnot. Granted, it'd be great to see them come on a unit. I mean, some of the units do come a little bit more built up. We basically bought the stock unit and wanted to do it our way. But I mean, the pricing was really inexpensive. Sliders, I mean, everything they had out was less expensive than any aftermarket company I could find for the other models, and including this model on the marketplace. So that was pretty inspiring to pick up a Kawasaki catalog right there at the dealership and realize I can outfit this thing with some cool parts from Kawasaki, the proprietary, that do a really good job, and cover my bases for a very limited amount of money out of pocket. So one thing I'll have to gripe on, I went down to PRP. Nothing about PRP to gripe. I mean, I'm happy that they're local. I live in SoCal, so these guys are down in Temecula. Went down there yesterday, picked up these nets. I can't believe that only the Talon and the Ranger Polaris, from what I could tell, have safety nets for your arms in here. And I know they're not, safety ain't cool all the time. It ain't about being cool, guys. I mean, if you're putting your kids in these things, or the wife or yourself, I mean, having something to block your arm in a rollover situation from coming out. Obviously, this doesn't go super snug up here. I think we're gonna go custom with the same company. They make custom style, nets and whatnot, racing style as well. But for now, I wanted at least something on here to protect my kids. I have family friends, and I have people I see all the time on social media that roll these things and end up pinching their arms inside these cages, or right here, and obviously it just adds excruciating pain to the already excruciating crash, potentially, or even a slow rollover potentially. And I mean, these nets aren't going to save your life necessarily, but they may keep your arms inside. And for 169 bucks, man, I tell you what, you cannot buy an arm for 169. I've shopped them here and there. They're just not available. So these guys are in Temecula. I have no affiliation with them. Haven't even used them yet. Put them on this morning. We're going out tonight. Made in the USA, PRP, 20 years in off-road. Super stoked on the fact that they even offer those, and I can't believe the manufacturers don't at least come with something simple like this right from the manufacturer. I mean, just, to me, it's a no-brainer. Put those things on from the manufacturer. Maybe the dealership step up, buy them, and put them in a damn, product line. If people don't want them, they can take them off for 169 bucks. God. No brainer, guys. So anyway, look at those trailing arms. They're just massive. Seat positioning here is massive. I'll open this up. 2 clips. Little Velcro in the front here. Bam. And you're right inside to the vehicle. So bam. Done. No